we have our longtime enemies. Also Brand, but also, you know, Kronos, Kalana, the other players on these teams we've fought against so many times.
But we are also seeing some players new to SeaBATTLE at least, but I should say not the greatest community. Bandit of Duck Motif actually coming in here for Kiwi left us for Malaysia, and you know, it doesn't seem like they've lost a whole lot. Kiwi, from my understanding, fine bamboo player, if I'm thinking correctly, Kiwi. Bandit, pretty phenomenal E-leader player.
Yeah, absolutely. I am hearing game sounds, but I'm not seeing the game right now. So let's, now we see the game on the screen. Beautiful. It looks like our Crushed by Shield team has taken an early take of the zone here, but right as we say that, right as we get the video feed, we get Kiwi left us for Malaysia, taking the zone back and pushing up almost immediately.
Yeah, Bandit already in a prime position for a charge of B. Riki up underneath that ledge, but let me do the smart thing, jumping out with the Killer Whale coming out, wants to play it safe, and they will be able to not only play it safe, they're going to get a pick there. Crushed by Shield does make it back in.
Yeah.
However, he left us for Malaysia, still lingering around, and with Riki hitting sloshes like that, I don't think they're going to go anywhere soon.
Yeah, Riki just being a menace over on this left side, even though Crushed by Shield able to get the zone there, the rest of the teammates are able to get it back, and Riki staying alive, getting picks, and again, just being a menace.
Absolutely, but even despite that menacing presence, which has not ended, mind you, Crushed by Shield were able to neutralize and cap the zone, and look at that. I mean, talk about the changes that we've seen with this recent update. One thing that continues to be present is the existence of Splatanas everywhere, the Mint Decapitator putting in consistent work. But Kalana here also not quite able to hit that flick onto Brand using a classic weapon that seems to be ever present throughout every iteration of the game.
Ever present, and it's fun to see Brand on this too, because I feel like we haven't seen him on this much in the past, but he's gone into this position so well, so quickly, because he's used to the short-range shooters, you know, as well as the bucket, which obviously his teammate Riki has already taken and is using very well. We see 2 go down. There's a jump on the right there, but as the time ticks down, it looks like Kiwi left us from Malaysia is in a great spot to win this first game.
They are, but they are getting contested right here, but a very important splat. Oh my goodness, still more great picks there coming out from Osa as well, trying to find the last flick. Didn't matter that they didn't get it because Crushed by Shield were able to put a pretty hefty penalty on to Kiwi left us from Malaysia. We might have to come up with some shorter names, despite the fact that these are peak Splatoon team names.
They truly are, especially for a lane. It is a little bit distracted for the action. I feel like I can't get all my words out, but I'm pushing through it. I'm powering through it, and we're having a good time. The Crab doing some work here, able to stay alive, not get too much out of it, but it was able to push back Kiwi left us for Malaysia, and we see some jump outs on the side of that team as Crushed by Shield moves up even farther.
Yeah, and great positioning here. These are several weapons that you do not have an easy time clearing out from underneath your drop. With Osa backing up there too, it kind of helping split the attention of Bear here, that they're getting just sandwiched between all these different players. Kalana able to find a pick, and Crushed by Shield continuing to hold on to the zone, able to find a few more picks too. That counter is getting a lot lower. I'm not saying that Kiwi are out of it by any means, but Crushed by Shield are in a great position still to hold on to this zone.
They really are. It's clear I spoke too soon saying they're in a great position to win it, because they were, but that is not what they are doing in this moment. Crushed by Shield, ticking it down, about to take the lead, and a great pick. Wow. Wow, great pick at the end there by Kalana. Crushed by Shield, take game 1.
Truly clinical from about that minute and a half mark all the way till end. I mean, Kiwi left us from Malaysia really in a strong spot from the very get-go, but never quite finding their footing after Riki got moved out of those strong positions. Crushed by Shield, I mean, that's the type of thing that you want to see from them each and every one of these games. We do, of course, have a best-of-7 match here, so long way to go, but a very impressive first game.
Incredible first game. And
the feeling of being washed out by bright light. Yeah, yeah. But, you know, speaking of washing waves, Dynamos. Dynamos have been super present ever since this most recent update. And that's actually the weapon that I was thinking most that we could see coming through here. That mini splat lane from
Ooh.
Kronos. Definitely one of the better mini splat lane players in the Western scene.
It's going to be very exciting to see what Kronos, aka Fruity Kong, can do on that mini splatling here. We see another Stamper out for Kalana. We also see the E-Leader coming out on the side of Kiwi, along with that Decaf Slosher and Zap we saw before.
Yeah, Bandit making an aggressive pick here. This is a weapon that can do extremely well on its own when they're hitting their shots. Bandit, phenomenal Charger player playing for Duck Motif. Placed, I believe, 5th in the Splatoon 3 North American League this past season.
Did they? That's incredible.
Yeah.
We know they're an amazing team, so that's not too surprising, but to see that leader in action here is certainly going to be a treat.
A treat for us, but not so much for Crushed by Shield, of course. However, that said, they are finding themselves in a near wipeout position. Brand somehow finding the pick onto Sakura there and the super jump to get away. But still, Crushed by Shield in a really excellent position. 2 specials ready and starting to ride that tower. Just needing to watch out for Bandit's E-Leader. Yeah,
they're playing this very smart, avoiding the leader, avoiding the bombs, trying to get the picks they need before they move in. And we have two of Crushed by Shield's members on the tower for a moment there. One of them gets taken down. The Blaster backs up, lives. They take out Ricky on the right side, and I think we're going to see them back on the tower here.
Yeah, that was phenomenal work from Kalana to just try to dance around Riki. I mean, using that Toxic Mist to great effect. However, you know, Riki already back and ready to pester that tower. Needs to live, though. I mean, with Kronos sitting tower spraying down. Ooh, great shot, though, by Bandit. And will there be any more follow-up? Moving to another aggressive position, trying to find the angles here, but with tactical, and especially with the changes, we do know that E-Leader is a difficult weapon to hit your shots on in general. What I've heard is that it's even more challenging after the recent patch.
Even more challenging is a sad moment for the leader players, but it's still fun to see.
Which only about maybe 5 out of the millions of people in this greater Splatoon
I mean, I don't know
universe.
any,
Yeah,
but
there's
you know.
a lot of people who are celebrating this change as well. Bandit, not one of them. Myself, also not one of them. That said, though, you know, times are what they are. You got to be able to deal with it, and if you can hit those shots, that's what's most important.
Exactly. You got to be able to adjust. You got to be able to improve your playstyle consistently, and I believe that's what we're seeing from Crushed by Shield here. They're adjusting to the playstyle of Kiwi Left Us for Malaysia so well. That's what allowed them to win Game 1. And right now we see the Zuka come out from them as Kiwi Left Us for Malaysia is getting to this first check. Let's see if we see a lead change here.
Yeah, we're going to have to condense that name for sure, but right now it's actually...
Wow.
It's,
wow.
It's Crushed by Soda who are condensing Kiwi Left Us for Malaysia. I mean, I understand the feeling of needing to pop that Kraken Royale in order to live, but there could not be a worse position for Water to be next to.
Yes, unfortunately, that Kraken just shot off the side of the tower there, putting Crushed by Shield in an amazing position to push forward, get a crab out, try to find the pick on Brand. They made him jump out. This crab doing a lot for enabling Shield to move up.
Yeah, able to move Bandit off their spot just long enough, perhaps for that checkpoint to be broken, but no, 2 important splats there from Bandit and Riki possibly on the assist. Able to prevent that checkpoint from being broken. I mean, that is an important stop. But on the other hand, Crushed by Shield were able to do the exact same thing to Kiwi Left Us for Malaysia at that first checkpoint. So now both teams in strong positions, but neither one able to quite advance as much as they would like to had they been able to break their respective checkpoints.
True. We do see Ricky with the aura here, doing an amazing job at getting some picks in the mid there. Gets 2 more right there to extend that flow aura and allow Malaysia to get back on the tower as he gets just another pick right as the camera comes back on him.
Quite possibly the most important spot of that entire thing. It acted as a soft wipe, and it's allowed the players for Kiwi to move into a really strong position. The Bandit getting knocked around off that tower, and with Sakura just dancing around right now, the players on Kiwi Left Us for Malaysia unable to focus the tower. You see that checkpoint still hasn't been broken. Sakura doing an excellent job of just moving in and out, not allowing them to ever feel comfortable, finally going down. And with 2 players down, but only 10 seconds remaining, this is going to have to be it for Kiwi left us Malaysia.
Yeah, this is the last push. This is it. We see the blaster on the top right here. They're in a great position to try to push him back, but we see the tri-strikes from the side of Malaysia. They have the tower still.
But they
only
need to get
need
on
10
the
more
tower.
points.
Yeah, Bear
They
able to
went
get there.
3 down.
It's going to be
Oh,
just
it's going to be
Bran
close. Oh.
not quite able to do it, and crushed by Shield, holding on to go up 2-0.
Crushed by Shield playing an incredible game here. They did a lot better this time at getting the lead early in the game. They had control for most of that game, and then when Malaysia started pushing back, getting the picks they needed, they didn't panic. They played safe. They played together, and in the end, they had a pretty comfortable win.
I would say so. I mean, I think while it was a little testy there at the end, they never seemed out of control. There was no one diving on the tower, really panicking to stop it. They always seemed like they had it under control. My goodness. We don't have enough time.
Shield versus Malaysia, I think, is what we have to do.
Shield versus Malaysia, or Crush versus Kiwi, or Crush versus Malaysia, or Shield versus Kiwi. There's 4 different options here.
Let's go Crush versus Malaysia.
Crush
that feels good.
versus
That feels
Malaysia.
good.
That is an intense choice, but I like it.
Malaysia versus the world.
But we are seeing a few changes here, and one of the biggest ones is going to be Bandit losing that leader, losing the Charger class entirely, but bringing out what might be one of the strongest weapons after the most recent update, and that is the Dynamo, and immediately showing the impact. That fall-off is incredible, but also, you got to say, Ted still kind of does well against Dynamo, so it could be an interesting battle between those two. However, at the moment, this is what we've been looking to see from Malaysia, but Osa, my goodness, able to find a brilliant pick. Bran trying to move up on block, not quite able to do so, and this has kind of set things into a stalemate.
Wow, another good pick from Ricky there on the side. But yes, this is a big stalemate. Crushed able to get back out when it looked pretty dire for them. Ricky with a power climb here, able to score. Let's see how much they actually get out of this, though, with Crushed coming back in. But Ricky with the aura again gets a triple. It's not enough to continue this push with the tent of Kronos coming back out and ending that.
I mean, the baby bubbler did not instill me with a whole lot of aura, but then Ricky finding the splats in order to let that aura flow. That said, Crush able to really clean things up, only giving up 1 power clam and 1 normal clam, and now in a great position with Kalana's Crab Tank coming out here, trying to find a pick, trying to find a little bit of damage. Malaysia able to do a good job of staying away from all these specials, and meanwhile, no power clam has been made, and Kronos holding on to 7 clams, never able to make the power clam, ends up getting splatted. That's basically pushed on for Crush.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate time because they had so much control, but they just did not have the clam economy to do anything with it. Sakura, we see them on the left side here again, getting taken out after getting 1 pick. It looks like Malaysia is starting to see where that brush is coming from, starting to put together really good pushes here, and we might see them do another one right here as the Dynamo gets another pick on the left side.
They're becoming knowers. They understand it now. They get that they cannot let Sakura just dance around them, and they're going to have to take Sakura on a little bit more aggressively. But that said, I mean, it's the killer whale from Sakura that's really causing some issues during this push, and it's just Riki left alive once again, able to get the trade. But despite the jump in from Bran, not nearly enough time to continue that push and score more clams. Just another football, and I think another clam being, few clams being scored, if I'm doing my math correctly, which I rarely am.
No comment there. But what Malaysia is doing really well here, even if they aren't getting a ton of points out of these pushes, they have so much control in mid that even when they do get taken down, even when the push does end, and even when Sakura gets in and gets a push, or gets a splat there, they're still able to hold mid, and they're still able to hold Crushed back from getting any pushes onto their plat.
I mean, that was one of the most important splats I could have ever imagined Bran to get there. Able to survive long enough to and then fight and trade Sakura, that really did save Malaysia from going down a whole lot. But Kronos in a really strong position, and a power clam being jumped in. That's going to be a big lead coming through here. Still 2 more clams to be scored. Sakura dancing more, able to get another pick, and this push continues to linger. Still trying to find a way through here. Has just a little bit of time, not nearly enough though. still taking it down to 45, huge for them.
That was a really, really good push after I just said how they're not able to get that yet. Well, let's see if Malaysia can come back in, paint up mid, do what they've been doing best, and take out Kronos. That's a really good, really important piece of getting a push going here. Brand getting the aura from that crab with the 2 kills. More clams in. They only need 1 more to take a lead here in the final minute.
Big push here with that aura, able to extend
Wow.
even more, getting 2, and look at the score. It's already down to 6.
With the wipeout here.
He has the last 2 clams, and this is a 2-1 set. We're back on the board. We know that we're going to at least a game 5.
Incredible game.
Malaysia looking like they could take it to 6, maybe even 7.
Yep. Yep, they really are. never doubt Malaysia, you know? But
all we had to do was pit them against the world, and they showed up.
Great game from both sides there. Malaysia really demonstrating just the control of mid, the paint control, and the constant picks, the constant pressure to be able to make so many good pushes. They had a couple small pushes right at the start there, but that ending push after Crush got a lot of points really just secured it in a great way.
Strong on the stage, strong for the mode.
If I'm Kronos, I think I do.
If you're Kronos, you're not sitting here next to me. You're sitting over there.
If I'm Kronos, I'm not playing 10. But if Kronos is here, he could go the vanilla. He could go the Sorella again. We see V scope.
We're seeing both. We're seeing Inkbacks coming out from both teams. Crush and Malaysia on the same page. No longer Malaysia versus the world. Crush kind of understanding them. Maybe trying to bridge that gap in relations. Maybe international relations, some international relations majors on that team.
Yeah, good for them, honestly. I'm proud of them. We see 1 pick on Kalana so far at the start of this game. Those are my words. We see Brand coming out with the crab as someone on the side of Crush tries to push in through the right, gets pushed back out. All of these strikes coming in, Crush able to retake mid and start their own push up towards the ramp here as Kalana gets a pick and an assist of their own.
Brand doing a good job there to prevent Kalana from having that aura, but at the same time, it was Osa at the start of the game that really prevented Malaysia from probably getting a push that would have resulted in a checkpoint at the very least. Going on to the Greats, I don't think Malaysia were quite ready for that, and I definitely don't think they're ready for this. In fact, trying to fight it. Brand backs off, but Kalana moving right on through, able to get 2 off of that Inkvac, and we'll see if Malaysia's Inkvac is able to slow them down at all. I don't think it was enough to prevent that checkpoint from going down. No, the checkpoint did get broken. However, Riki doing a really good job just barely to live against the crab tank.
I'm amazed that they lived against the crab tank there, because that crab was in such a good spot to get so many good things, but in the end, they weren't able to bring that health bar down to 0, and Riki able to escape there and continue to wreak havoc here with the brush on that right side. They get an important pick there, even though both sides go 2 down, and we see a battle of bombs in the middle.
And we see a battle of bombs. We see a battle of the sloshers, and it's going to be Osa winning it this time, but Brand able to get the trade, and Kalana right there to get the trade back. Looking now to move right along to Bandit, but Bandit is sharp and ready despite taking that 70 damage from the vertical swing. Not being fearful at all, standing strong and hitting the shot.
Yeah, they're just trades on trades here, both teams.
But do they know about Sakura? Seeing the brush in the backlines at the very end there. Does go down somehow, but look at this. It's going to be a 2v1 situation for Crush. And as I say that, Bandit really just shutting it all down. Boy, if they're... I don't think we've seen a match this close just yet.
This is such an exciting game. It's as close as the first game, I would say, but we are halfway through. 1 checkpoint has been broken on the side of Crush, so if they're able to keep this pressure up, they could just hold that until the end. But like I said earlier, that checkpoint falls very easily. I don't put it past Malaysia at all to be able to get that very soon here.
Well, it falls easily, and I think it was very important for Crush to get it so quickly, because the thing that has really prevented Malaysia from being able to move in here is the beacons that Kronos is dropping down and resulting in their team able to make it back so quickly. I mean, Kalana goes down and is right back. Somehow Osa just goes and gets another pick there onto Bear. I mean, they continue to be everywhere on the stage, and the beacons are playing a huge part.
Osa playing incredibly this game, getting so many important picks, doing so when they most need it to. Sakura getting a good splat on Ricky there, and just being so annoying in this drop in this bottom part again to let Crush push up even further.
In the best of ways, annoying that. I mean,
Oh yes, no, I mean that as
of
such a compliment
to a brush player. If you are an ink brush and you get called annoying, understand that you are doing your job properly.
I'm saying that with joy in my voice. Like, it is fun to watch.
Speaking of fun, I mean, that slosh there from Osa, able to find an important pick on the Bandit. And look at the patience coming out here from Crush 2, letting all the players just slowly move up as a unit, using that Killer Whale 5.1 to just create enough space for Kalana to move in. But Bandit able to find an important pick, and maybe they've been a little bit too slow. I mean, time is on their side, given that they're the only ones having broken the checkpoint, but they didn't get any more points past that.
It did seem like they were in a good position to get more points there.
It did, but I don't think Malaysia know about the two players who are sitting bottom right now. And unless they're able to clear that out, it's going to be very difficult for them here.
Yeah, they're letting the Rainmaker reset here. They're going to have to pop it again and take out a lot of players in really dangerous positions. They take out the brush. We see two more on the left, 20 seconds left. They have a vac ready, which could be incredibly important for them on this push if, you know, someone other than Charger picks it up, which might not happen here.
It might not. I mean, 8 seconds remaining. I don't know if there's someone there. We see two players on Malaysia already pushed in. Bandit ended up going down, so it's Brand holding the Rainmaker, and Sakura's right on them. Riki needs to be able to protect, but Osa's right there to take out Brand, and it is 3-1 for Crush by Shield.
Crush by Shield playing incredible games here. They were able to hold that mid for so long, be really, really patient to get the checkpoint, maybe a little bit too patient at the end of the game there, but obviously it paid off for them because they got the pressure they needed to. They ran down the clock an incredible amount. I think Kronos died. Kronos got splatted with 7 seconds left on the Rainmaker timer there.
Yeah.
That's almost a fifth of the game that they wasted in that moment.
I mean, that's one of the strongest strategies in Rainmaker. If you get an early lead, you stall. And it's one of the toughest modes. It's one of the toughest stages as well. But if there's ever a player on this stage who could make that impact, is going to be Kronos. It could even be Sakura. It could be Kalana. Not to say that Malaysia have a shortage of quality players by any means, but they need to show up right here, right now, if they're going to be able to stop Crush by Shield.
Absolutely have to. And they've shown up with 2 tri-strikes on their side, which is going to be really good for both of these zones. We see the ZNF Charger from Bandit, and of course, we see the bucket again with those tri-strikes. And early on in the game here, we've already seen Kalana go down and some damage on some of the other players as well.
Yeah, and I like that change to the ZF splatter scope, mainly because having Splash Ball is one very strong counter to a Tent Umbrella. So Kronos continuing on with that. Had they brought out the mini Splatling, maybe this would be this would be an unfortunate pick to go to ZF now, but I actually think it's going to work out for them. And speaking of working out, Riki, the Sloshers continue to work, consistently finding pick after pick after pick. Tough fight there against 2 inside of that 10 Umbrella Shield, and not having any assistance from their team might feel a little hard done by in that fight, especially now that Kalana's going on a little bit of a streak of their own. They might be able to find Aura if they can just get Bear here.
They absolutely do. Wow, what a splat, what a turnaround from the side of Crush by Shield. Kalana able to live that bomb that I for sure thought was going to take them down.
I think we all did, and while Brand will end up finding the pick that the bomb could not, it still is in a good position for Crush Shield, especially now with Sakura coming in, getting bumped a little bit. Brand needs some assistance. There's 3 people converging on him, and yet he's able to find even one. The fact that he's lived through this is impressive enough. The fact that Crush by Shield have not lost the zones, also fairly impressive.
Incredibly impressive, honestly. They were able to get, you know, not a ton of points here so far, but they won. In the end, they won this team fight. They were able to get the zones back, and they are quickly counting down that timer to catch up with the lead that Malaysia have built.
Oh, huge Trizuka pick there from Kronos, and another great pick there too. Bandit able to level the field a little bit, but I mean, Crush by Shield now in the lead. There are 2 triple ink strikes available to Malaysia, but I don't know if they're
nice.
I don't know if that will be nearly enough to neutralize and cap the zones. We're seeing that they are struggling, and big shot there from Kronos onto Bear.
Kronos, an incredible splat there to also allow their teammate to jump in safely. They get the zone back with no penalty points put down, and they have a Zuka ready to shoot.
And they have a target for that Zuka as well. The Crab Tank going to be taken out, and somehow Riki not quite able to get the pick there either. The double team coming through here from Crushed by Shield. I think this is it. Bandit needs to make an incredible play. Otherwise, it's going to be Crushed by Shield taking it home for SeaBATTLE 8 Octarian Moon, and you have a 4-1 grand finals.
Wow.
Decisive in just about every single map, decisive in every single game. Incredible playing from all of them.
Incredible set. After game one, it really looked like it was going to be a very close battle, and a lot of those matches seemed really close at a lot of the times, but Crushed by Shield just able to show that consistency, able to show that cool-headedness to take each of those games to the end with the win.
And I can't think of the last time, don't hold me to this, I can't think of the last time that a non-SeaBATTLE regular didn't come in and clean out in grand finals.
Yes.